Hey folks, welcome to Rumble and Breaks. We've got F1 Sundays. This is a show that I thought I'd try out. I really enjoy F1, watching F1 every race, actually even subscribe to it. Started off actually watching it as a result of Drive to Survive. The first episodes were fantastic, and we just kept watching it from that standpoint. Yeah, what we'll do is while we break some packs, we'll talk about the post-race coverage. We'll sort of review what happened this week in the race. We've got a special guest host. She's doing very well in the fantasy pools. She's ranked in the top 20 in the country and top 200 globally. We'll call her Dr. F1 because she's been doing very well, and even in our fantasy pool, she's been doing really well. Summer Silliness, that took place this last 4 weeks, saw this man essentially out of a seat in F1 with the whole fiasco of Oscar Piastri and as you can tell, I've invested quite a bit into Oscar Piastri pre all this silliness. This guy is F3 champion in his rookie season, F2 champion in his rookie season, so he's following the path of this man, George Russell, and Charles Leclerc, and we know how they've been doing in the last several seasons. So I think Alpine definitely got their just desserts. They thought they could they had their Alonso and they could fall back on Oscar Piastri, but they sort of bullied Oscar Piastri a little bit in how they were treating him. So good for him to actually go to McLaren and stick it to Alpine. They thought they could have their cake and eat it too. Anyways, so let's talk about the race this week. Top three, we have Max Verstappen, who had a good race. Second place was George Russell, and third was Charles Leclerc, or Charles Leclerc, as I like to say. Person that got hosed, Lewis Hamilton. He was leading most of the race for a good chunk of the race, right?
Yeah, his Mercedes strategy was on point. They looked really fast. They were faster than Ferrari for sure. They're really challenging Red Bull with their strategy. Had Bottas not had his little stoppage right on the right before the first corner, I think Hamilton wasn't lined up to get the win that he needs. He's had a win every one of his seasons since he started, and so far he is winless this year. He's come second, he's come third, but he looks solid for a win, and unfortunately that drifted away from him due to the last minute sort of safety car, and benefited Verstappen, and then Russell made the right call and switched his tires. So yeah,
I think they would have been both hosed if
for sure, if Russell hadn't changed to the softs and stuck with the hards, he definitely would have mediums, he definitely would have lost with Hamilton. But I think that the real thing to take away from this particular race is Ferrari is still nowhere. They're not getting their strategy right, and they're not getting their race pace right. And the real problem was right here.
Look at this guy here. I mean, he got totally screwed there. I mean, it like off the bat, his 10-second delay because they couldn't find his rear tire. That totally put a damper. I mean, they were looking pretty good to catch up and be on pace.
Yeah.
And then he just got totally hosed when he went into the pits there.
Carlos Sainz had a lot of pit problems. He had the missing tire issue. He had the potentially unsafe release. They gave him a 5-second penalty and dropped him down the race. And
and he was another one that got totally screwed out of the Bottas issue too, because passing Ocon unsafely.
He got away with that one. It was green. Yeah, it was green when he did the pass. It was yellow when he had already gone past him. So no, it was questionable, but it was not.
I see. I thought that he got the 5-second.
No, he got the 5-second for an unsafe release into the path of Alonso.
So clearly you can see why I have a great co-host, because she was definitely paying a lot more attention than I was in all of this. So that's awesome. So let's get cracking a bit on some of these packs that we got. Topps Turbo Attax. We'll do 4 packs here. I got quite a few of these packs to go through. So each time we'll do some packs while we and if any of these sort of sparks and any sort of discussion pieces, we'll sort of talk about that. Here's Charles Leclerc.
Distant second in the championship. I think it's done. If you got Max Verstappen cards, you're going to be even wealthier with those, because he's going to have his second world championship.
We got that special the last time. I mean, I think watching WTF1, he's just going to be so upset. I mean,
yeah.
I think he's actually going to be happy that at least they got podium this. Maddie's gonna be happy that he got podium this time versus the last few. But his whole rant about Ferrari's strategy has been awful, and poor Ricardo here. Team trio. Who is this?
It's one of the junior teams.
That's some hair on that middle guy. Dennis Hogger. I think the sprint. I have not looked at the F2 race this week, but I know that in the sprint he was second or third. Yeah,
no, third. I think third.
I've been watching a lot of F2. It's definitely there's Russell. Yeah, look at that. Speedster, definitely a speedster. Esteban Ocon.
He had a good race.
He's having a very quiet if for a fantasy player, he's fantastic. He's always going to be in the top 10, and you'll see that. Him and then Fernando Alonso's actually been doing very well the last little while.
It's going to be tough for Ocon next year, though, because I think Gasly almost guaranteed is going to be in his seat at Alpine.
I know.
That was the other big news, and then we're going to see, potentially, if he can get a super license, we're going to see from Indy, Colton come across. So that's going to be exciting.
I think Danny Ricciardo being in Indy would be really good as well.
NASCAR Indy, I think he'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that. The smooth operator. If you guys haven't checked out that, was it Connor Brown? I think that's the guy's name. Fantastic stand-up pieces on the comedy. On Vettel, this is the guy that sparked the whole F1 controversy.
Well-deserved retirement. He's retiring. He didn't spark it. It's just there you go, Albon. Albon's doing fantastic for Williams again. Just outside the points this week. Looked like he might have gotten some points.
Yeah.
Just wow, what a drive from Albon in the last couple of races.
I love Albon. I think having him displaced off of Red Bull. I get Perez. Perez does really well on Red Bull. Albon, I just really enjoy. I like it. I don't know why. I just really like Albon in general. I think he's a great driver. If you look at it, if you actually even look at the next year's race, if Lando Norris, Albon, and George Russell all came up the same system. George Russell being first from the F2 place, Lando Norris was second, and Albon was third. I actually think Albon's a better driver than Lando Norris, but
another signs.
Another signs. We're gonna have to learn how to play this game. Off the track, he's definitely gonna be off the track. Sorry, Daniel. I love Daniel. I love Daniel Ricciardo. I mean, he's always smiling. He's always got such a positive attitude. I mean, I think
she made a good race this week. Did he finish the points? No, he was behind Albon.
Yeah, he was in 11th.
Late tire change messed him up.
I think it was 13th or 14th. I forget.
13th. He was late tire change messed him up. He was in the points for quite a while.
And Lance Stroll, you know what?
Solid, quiet race again, like Ocon.
I do take him. I mean, I've been giving him a hard time the last few pack breaks, and he's been having an actual solid race. Maybe he's actually learning from Sebastian Vettel, and maybe he can actually learn more from I'll eat one of these cards if he does. He pulls well in the next few seasons. And here's his new mentor that's gonna be Fernando Alonso going to Aston Martin. Lewis Hamilton, poor Lewis. Turbo Attax, Max Verstappen, and Sergio Perez.
Oh, Perez, another one who didn't really benefit from some of the tire changes and chaos in the pit lanes. I mean, he had some good changes, but then he drove over the Ferrari tire changing gun.
Oh yeah, he totally broke that.
Well, and he got called up to the stewards after, so hopefully no penalty.
I don't think it was really his fault. And Verstappen, look, that's the card that definitely have too. Verstappen foily silver thingy. And Yuki Tsunoda, he's just having a hard time. This poor kid, awful time.
His car was broken, and it wasn't broken, and it really was broken. And
oh yeah, that last batch was just awful. Tire changes and stuff like that. And we have a pink Mercedes card, the silver arrows. Oh, it's upside down. Oops, sorry, my bad. Mercedes, the silver arrows, Petronas.
Potential threat for second in the constructors. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, nobody would have thought that. Got another 2 more packs, so we'll just open this. I really want to try to get through all the packs that I have here so that we can actually learn how to play this darn game.
Seidel, it's McLaren's team boss.
McLaren's team boss. Valtteri Bottas, the creator of chaos this year, this round, traditions. You know, have you seen that meme? That's been fantastic. Can't really say I know who this
He's
is.
F2.
He is F2. Yeah, he's definitely F2, but I don't think I've seen.
He's an also run.
He's an okay. He's like probably back of the pack F2 driver.
He's a mid pack driver.
Oh, guess I haven't been following all that close. I mean, I've been really following Drogovic the entire time. Sebastian Vettel, Theo Pourchaire had a pretty bad run in the sprint. Lewis Hamilton. Some are even saying that he's going to be taking over what's his name, Guan Yu Zhou's seat.
No, I think Guan Yu Zhou's very close to signing again. With he's outperforming Bottas. He's not going to lose a seat.
That's just the rumblings though, so we'll see.
Rumblings, yeah.
Yeah. Williams Racing. Again, they've been doing very well the last few races, with the exception of Latifi, who's
Yost, my inspiration,
continuously sucky.
Him and Gunter.
Sergio Perez, that's a nice looking card. Again, Sergio Perez, another epic moments, and George Russell. Look at that. He's got this very clean cut, and Perez is like, "Yes, I'm going to overtake you, and you're gonna like it." All right, last pack here, and then we'll wrap this race recap up. I mean, overall, everyone thought it was just gonna be a boring race, and you know, it was for the first little while, and then I guess it got really interesting, especially with safety cars. You never know what's gonna happen.
I kept waiting for another flare to hit the track.
Oh yeah.
I luckily kept that off, not like the qualifying on Saturday.
Charles Leclerc. I'm always gonna say that. Valtteri Bottas is like, yeah, like this is almost like this guy, you know, who's got 2 thumbs up and likes stalling out on races. This guy. Actually, that's Latifi. That's Latifi's job. He sort of took that job away from him. Aston Martin. Cognizant, are we? Fernando Alonso. I really enjoy Fernando. There was this one clip where I forget what happened, and he's like, you know, up like he gave him the hand. He waved his hand at. He's like, "What are you doing?"
He's the only man I've ever seen in the passing in an active race going 300 kilometers an hour, wiggling his finger at the other guy because he did something wrong.
Yeah.
Alonso's awesome.
I think it was Vettel. I think it was Vettel that came out of the pits a little weird. And
that was this race. That Alonso wasn't. That was Vettel holding up Hamilton yeah, that was a mess.
Yeah. But if you ever get the F1 channel and you know, he's definitely one of these individuals that you would want to actually be in the driver's seat with, just to watch what his reactions
his
are.
Helmet cam shots are amazing.
They're fantastic. Yeah. Nicholas Latifi,
the fake goat.
Fake goat. Bah. Sergio Perez. Yuki Tsunoda. We talked about these. Red Bull, the Oracle.
Mercedes.
That's a neat looking card. And another AlphaTauri.
It's like they stacked them together.
Yeah, it's like purpose. Yeah, and then Haas.
Oh, I love Haas.
Yeah, I love Haas. I love Haas racing. I definitely love the underdogs. So cool. So yeah, so this week Netherlands, and next week we have the Temple of Speed in Monza. So, you know, watch out for a video next week, and we'll do another recap. Thanks everyone for joining. Tell us what you think about the race. If you enjoyed it, you know, what your thoughts are. Who do you think? I personally think Verstappen's going to be running away with this. But, you know, if you like F2, let us know. Give us your thoughts. Have a great weekend. See you next week.